Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Conversations with Auntie. I now have a very important message from my niece, Asia, to all of you.
Hello, everybody. I hope you all are having a great day. I hope you all are feeling well. I wanted to come on here and to say thank you and to show gratitude for everybody that has supported me on this journey. This last year, the last 8 months have been different. They have been overwhelming, life-changing, honestly. And I've never thought that I would be in the position that I am in. At the age of 13, I was diagnosed with chronic kidney disease. And I have done everything that I've needed to do to make sure that my disease has not progressed, whether it's my lifestyle, eating habits, and medications. While I was pregnant, I was okay and the babies were absolutely okay. There was nothing going on there. While I was pregnant, my kidney function was actually getting better. After having our son, I ended up getting sick and my kidney function dropped drastically and my GFR was at a 12. That is not great. That is not good at all. And so we had a talk with my doctors, my parents, and if nothing changed within a certain amount of time, we would need to take the steps in order to save my life. So now I am in the search of a living kidney donor. And so that's where we are today. I'm not gonna lie, this season has been very difficult for me. It has been one thing after another. And it's been hard, but I'm still here, guys, and I plan on being here and showing up. So I want to say thank you to everybody that has sent an encouraging word, a text message that has called, that has donated in any way possible that they can. Your words and your actions do not go unnoticed, and I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I love you all. To my family and to everybody in Uniontown, I love you all immensely. I see what you all are out there doing for me, and I'm forever grateful. There's no word I could express to anybody that would be enough. So I just want to say thank you. Continue prayers for me and be blessed. Bye.
Hey, everybody, that was my niece, Asia. That is my god sister, Natalie's firstborn. I need you to please share and share and share that information. You can also go to my page, Conversations with Auntie, or Tanya Lynne, TanyLynne, to find more information and to share it on your page. We appreciate your support, but most of all, we appreciate your prayers. God is still working miracles. And now, this is my anniversary show. I have celebrated 3 years. Yay! So this is my first show going into year number 4. And I have the best guest that I could have going into year number 4 because he's Mr. Make It Happen, D. Johnson himself. Happy 16-year wedding anniversary, sir.
Yes.
Valentine's Day wedding.
Yes, 1 day, 2 gifts.
Come on now, 1 day, 2 gifts. I like that. His wife was here with us a couple months ago, Nicole McKinney-Johnson, the CEO and the president of Rape Crisis Center. And so they are both out here making impacts in the community and definitely making lasting changes. They're not temporary, they're permanent changes, even in your mindsets. And so today we're just gonna sit back, relax, and just have a conversation so that maybe you can make some things happen in your life. Welcome, D.
Oh, welcome. Glad to be here.
I'm glad you're here. Let me just say something. I admire you.
Oh, well, thank you.
I admire you. You are definitely someone who does make things happen. You're consistent. You're relevant, and your wealth of information.
I appreciate that.
Wealth of information. And so I'm glad that you are sitting at the table with me. And so we just get ready to jump right in. So I'm going to start with the child. How were you as a child?
How was I as a child?
Yeah.
I was a good kid. My mom says that I didn't cry a lot when I was a baby. I was a pretty good student, A-B student.
Did you play sports?
Just on the street, not organized. Not until Warrensville, I played. In high school, I wrestled.
Okay.
In the 10th grade. But primarily, I always had a job since I was 15.
Hustler. You was making it happen even then. Okay. So what were some of them jobs?
First job was working for my grandfather, who invented the column lock.
What's a column lock?
It's an anti-theft device that went on older vehicles, 80s models, probably stopped around 91.
And they put them on the column of the car.
On the column of the car, so you couldn't strip the steering column and pass the ignition manually.
Yes, some dealerships need those now. Yeah, because they done figured out new ways to steal cars now. And so, so growing up, the entrepreneur spirit was there. Your grandfather was there.
Yeah, we've put those things together. Me and my uncle in the basement before.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
before he got a
amazing.
brick and mortar and started distributing them across the city and other major metropolitan areas where car theft was high, like Chicago, Detroit.
Yeah. That is amazing. Wow. Look at that. Some Black history.
Yeah. It all started from the historic strike at Caterpillar. And he was an employee there. He had been making these in the basement, like I stated. And they striked, and he took his severance package and walked away.
Go ahead, Granddad. That's what's up. And made it happen. Okay. So then as life progressed, you had a couple bumps and some twists and turns, some moments of, I call it recalculation.
Yeah.
Because God just recalculates for a testimony sometimes. And so let's get into that. Let's get into the addiction, delivery from it, and then becoming a single daddy.
Well, looking back on it, being 17 years sober now, 18 years sober,
Look at God. Look at what God can do.
I was an alcoholic before I even picked up a drink. My first drink I stole from the bread basket on 116th when I was about 14 years old, and I drank it in the backyard before I went to school by myself. So if you think about that, I kind of checked all of the boxes the first go round.
Isn't that something?
Yeah. But that part of my life, and it's a long story. I've done hundreds of leads in regards to it. But I would say this, that I didn't get better until I really wanted to get better. I didn't stay sober on my own volition and will. It was the will of my higher power, and I am a child of God, and I believe that the Lord Jesus Christ is my personal Savior. So during that time, there was a spiritual event that happened. In AA, they call it a spiritual awakening, correct? But I frame it in a way where I was, for some reason in treatment, I always roomed by myself. Like none of my roommates stuck. I think I had a roommate maybe 3 nights out of the 60 that I was in treatment.
Wow.
And one night, though, it was me and the Lord in that room. And it felt like it was 200 grown men standing in the room with me.
My goodness.
And at that point, I knew that I just can't stop. You know, I started hearing that playing over and over in dreams during the day. You know, just don't stop, Duane. Just don't stop. So here we are. Part of me getting sober was really to be the father that I know that I was born to be. Because at the time, I got custody of my daughter when she was 4 years old. Our daughter.
And she's beautiful. My A.
Yeah, yep. That's my pretty tough chick. And so I was able to accomplish that. And I don't know how many guys are listening or women that are listening that have guys that are going through things like trying to get custody of their children, visitation rights, all of those things. The legislation in the state of Ohio is not geared towards fathers. It is geared solely towards women. So it was truly the fight of my life to get custody of her, clean up my act, be responsible, because I had been, right? I have a college degree. I've got a master's degree. I've been out and on my own since 18, 19. And so it was, it reminds me of being in a situation where I was around some people that I knew that I shouldn't be around.
Okay.
And I made the statement like, oh yeah, when I get my stuff together, I'm going to do this, this, and this. Right? Like get my my master's degree, get back into the bank and the financial industry. And the person that I was sitting with looked at me and said, you ain't doing none of that. That's where we at. But I had the forethought to look at that person and say, hey, you know what? I've been there. I know the road back to that same place and what I need to do.
Right.
So now I just have to act on it. And eventually that day came where the rubber met the road, and I said, you know what? I got to make a change.
So let me just put a pin there and just ask you, for someone that might be watching, that's caught up in whatever the addiction is, what would you tell them?
Ask questions.
What do you mean by that?
A lot of people can tell you what they think or what you should do or what have you. But the person that truly wants to get better and truly wants to get sober, they seek out the help. And it's the hardest thing to do. But they seek out the help. They ask the questions. They go kicking and screaming. They do all of those things. But getting sober becomes more important than the now and the present. You start to think about what life would be like being sober. You also stop and realize that, no, not everybody is doing it. You start to realize that, yeah, I'm not just hurting myself. I'm hurting everybody else around me as well.
Yeah.
Because I'm not being my best me for them. And ask those questions. I would suggest reaching out for help. Me, it was Catholic Charities.
Oh.
And within Catholic Charities, I mean, my story is my story. My story was, I was in outpatient treatment because of a court case. I completed outpatient treatment. I missed like 3 weeks of the classes at the end because my counselor kicked me out because he knew I was drinking, but couldn't prove it.
Wow.
So when he kicked me out, he told me that, hey, Duane, you know what? You can go to inpatient treatment, but I got to kick you out of here. And when they have a bed, I'll get you in there. So weeks go past, and he's not calling me. I figured that he'd be calling me like, hey, Duane, you
a couple days
now.
or so, right.
So I'm like, oh, this ain't going to work. Right.
You take us too long.
Now I'm realizing for myself, hey, you know what? I need treatment. So when I started calling him, he was like, I knew you would call.
He wanted to know how serious you were.
Yeah, so... and that's what I mean by asking questions.
Yeah.
If I had sat there and not been proactive, then who knows?
Who knows?
Right. So I completed inpatient treatment. And then after inpatient treatment, it was advised that you go to an outpatient program after that.
Okay.
So I chose the same outpatient program with the same counselors and faced it and completed the program. So they talk about cleaning up your side of the street. I do have to say that all along the way, as long as I remained humble and patient, the Lord showed me exactly how things would work out for me. I had a community service, 100 hours turned into a full-time job. And it was because I created the job within the organization while I was doing this 100 hours. So let's say 100 hours, people that have been on community service, they think, oh, that's 2.5 weeks. No, I tried to do that for the first week and sit there because they couldn't keep me busy for 8 hours a day. So I quickly broke that down to about 2, 3 to max 4 hours a day, so I could still go to my meetings, meet with my sponsor, do the things that were keeping me sober. And it probably took me about a month or two to finish that 100 hours. But all along the way, they started missing me when I wasn't there. They started asking, hey, when is Duane coming in? Because I was working for a public interest law firm. Well, I was doing the community service there. So after I finished my community service, I got offered a position, and I ran the community service program.
So you created the position that they made. You created a position that became a permanent position that they had you run.
Yeah, the Lord showed me my tools that I could use within this law firm. I didn't shrink. I showed my skills because lawyers are not MBAs unless they have one.
That's true. That's true. And so somebody has to do it. Why not me, right?
Correct.
Why not me? So let's, you touched on my, hey, Adrienne, she's so precious. I can't believe she grown now.
21.
I know, grown.
Be 22 this year.
You ain't got to make us all feel old. Sheesh. That went fast. So let me ask you this, because she has long, beautiful hair. Did you learn how to braid?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, so this is all kind of part of it, right? So when I first got custody of it, Adrienne, and she was with me, I was driving from the west side to the east side every week, every 3 to 4 days, because she was an active little girl, to have my mother or my grandmother braid her hair. After about 2 weeks of doing that in rush hour traffic, working on their schedule, I said, nah, teach me. And my mother and my grandmother taught me how to braid her hair.
Wow.
From beginning to end. So I know how to braid hair.
I love it. I think that is so cool when a father can do his daughter's hair. My brother has a little girl. She has hair like Adrienne, real curly and long. Cynthia, Cheryl has thick hair too. But I remember when my mother passed, and I walked in a room, and Cynthia was on the floor, and Billy was on the couch, and he was doing her hair for the funeral, braiding it up, twisting it up. And I was like, wow. I like when fathers get involved with their daughters, those little things like that. So has she ever polished your fingernails?
No.
You didn't have to say it like The Rock. No. Some things are off limits, huh?
It never came up because Adrienne isn't that type
Well, no,
of girl.
she's not that. No, she isn't.
She never was.
Right. She's A.
She'd rather go to the beach and hang out than play with dolls any day.
Or swim.
Yep.
She's a fish. So, okay. So you used your tools. Even in recovery, you still are who God calls you to be. And those gifts are there. And so ask questions, seek help, ask more questions, continue to seek help, do a post-care is necessary to do, and to keep yourself busy and change your environment. Yeah,
or figure out what impact are you or what are you going to give back to the community. Is something that helped me as well. Like I stated, this was a public interest law firm that I was working with, so I was doing a lot of different things when I was working there. I was doing rental discrimination, housing discrimination, shops, all sorts of different things. Helping people keep their utilities on during the wintertime, helping them keep their AC on during the summertime. So those things kept me passionate about life and about helping others. And that is something that you learn in AA, but I've found it to be very helpful because Auntie, we could both write all of our problems down on a piece of paper right here, right? And ball them up and throw them in that corner. I'm trying to beat you so that I can get mine. Because they mine.
Because they're mine.
Right. I don't want anybody else's.
No.
So, and that's when you think about that and you are trying to help someone else, you stop the worrying about your own problems.
Ooh.
You stop concentrating on your own problems. You start realizing that you're not alone and that other people are going through the same things that you are going through or have been through them. So I also, there's a test. Like when I meet a person and, you know, we talking about really establishing a relationship, and there's a test. That test is I just start talking about myself, right?
Okay.
Just like we're doing now.
Yeah.
And then if you don't start talking about yourself and instead you start talking about me, we're not having a conversation, and that's as far as it goes.
That's good. I like that. That makes perfect sense. Perfect sense.
The other thing, a lot of people think that when you're getting sober that you're not supposed to have any dreams. Like you're supposed to just muddle through it now, and everything,
Like that was
and
me.
everything is and always will be about staying sober. So I pray for that increase of faith, willpower, strength, understanding.
Yeah.
That I would have room for all of my dreams. I remember I met an older gentleman in the rooms, and you know, he's a professor and lots of things, brilliant accolades, an author, scientist. And he said to me, he said, Duane, are you really dependent on the Lord if your dreams are only big enough that you can accomplish them?
Ooh, I tell people all the time, you're not dreaming big enough.
Yeah.
Because this right here, this I'm going into syndication. That's my dream.
And
Yeah. It's got to be bigger.
Right.
Everything, it has to be bigger. I don't want it supersized. I want it bigger than supersized. You know, I like everything. But, you know, I came across a lady earlier today in my passing, and I was blessed to have a conversation with her. And she used to be a drug addict. And now she and her children have reconciled because she is free from that. And she said the same thing, that God helped her. And as long as she kept focusing on just getting through this day, get through this moment, get through this second, just get through this right now. And then she said she realized that right now passed and it was an hour. And then she realized that then it became days, and then them days became weeks. And then she realized, wait a minute, I'm sober. I'm doing this thing. I'm not in an active state of addiction anymore. And then she said she would cry and be wondering where her children were and what was going on. And so then she said, well, let me go find them. Let me go reconnect. And so she went to the family members that had them, and she reconnected, and they became a whole family again, a whole. They weren't holes in the family anymore. They became a whole family again, you know, a healed family again. And so today she was sharing, and now I have 2 grandchildren on the way, you know. And so she was we just hit it, and she just immediately went there. So I went there with her, you know. And so a lot of what you said is a lot of things that I know works because she said it, and so many other people have said the same thing, you know. And don't stop dreaming, and don't stop living. Yeah. Because you're not the alcoholic, you're not the addict. What else is there? That's a piece of the life. Now you got all this other life to live. So what are you gonna do with all this other stuff? True. So you do a lot. I know you do a lot with the fraternity as far as community outreach and giving back, and that as well, because we Q roof, yes, and I love that you are connected, that you feel the heartbeat of the community, because so many people get delivered, get set free, get healed, get whole, and they don't go back. They don't want to go back.
Them people don't like you anyway. So I Yeah.
They're gonna say something anyways.
Yeah, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated.
Yes.
That's all I gotta say. And that's the mission. Rest in peace, brother Jesse Jackson.
Yeah, definitely. I check this out. So it was. I just had Justin. He was a couple years old, and I was a registered Republican then, and we supported Jesse, and I was able to interview him. He was one of the nicest people. And my grandpap sold his house as is, and all the photos and stuff was there, and so they were gone. But it was such an awesome experience to sit down with that mind, and the heart though, and the compassion. He was a good man. He was a very good man, and he is definitely going to be missed. And so, yeah, definitely rest in peace.
As we were talking, I don't know what it was in me that said, no, my mother isn't raising my daughter. My grandmother isn't raising my daughter.
Oh, that's good right there.
The church ladies at Holy Trinity, bless them all, but y'all weren't raising my daughter, right? And that she was my responsibility, and because I'm her father, and I have to raise her, and I have to be there 100% of the time. I don't know. That's me.
It is.
I am the spirit of that.
That's good.
And that same feeling is the same feeling that I feel about when I establish a goal for myself, and I really planned it out, because, it's just a dream if I don't plan it out. And that's where this whole thing and this transformation of leaving the bank came from, and just being fully, authentically me at all times, 24/7.
So let's hit on that, because you are an expert in business management and consulting, as well as financial literacy. And so, why? I know the answer, but I'm going to ask it. I know why I feel, but what did you see that gave you that drive to educate people about financial literacy, or what didn't you see that made you want to educate people?
Well, I have thought long time, probably since college, that we as a community don't talk about money enough. We listen to everybody except the expert. We listen to a lot of people that may not have our best interest at heart. I think we kind of get lazy around finances. I think we get lazy in the sense that we put the onus on someone else other than ourselves. Like when I'm working at the bank, you overdraw your account 20 times the last month, but it's the bank's fault.
Because you knew what you didn't have in there. Yeah.
It's the bank's fault,
Yeah.
right? All of those sorts of things. And I think some of it also stems from just not knowing and not having someone in your life to teach you. And, I grew up with uncles and a father and all of those things that taught me, each of them taught me something different. My father was a banker as well with Cleveland Trust. And so he taught me a lot about finances and my money and how to handle it and what have you. So that's what I saw. I mean, in my first banking position downtown on Playhouse Square, I met this young lady. We opened up a bank account, and I'm green too. This is my first job. I'm opening the account. I open it the right way. I give her checks and what have you, and account overdrawn in 2 weeks. Wow. She comes back and she's like, but I still have checks.
Wow.
So seeing that and not ostracizing her and explaining it to her, showing her, she became my client. I found out what her goals were. Her goal was to save up money and get her a car. Okay, well, we got to stop spending on this stuff that overdrew your account, right? And we got to start. And a checking account isn't for saving. A savings account is for saving.
Right.
And a
right.
savings account isn't a transaction account. If you go into it more than twice a month, it should be a checking account. Teaching people those.
A savings account is not a checking account. And if you go in it more than twice a month, take it and make it a checking account. Because you're saving it for a purpose. Remember the purpose, remember the goal, and don't touch it. That was good.
And it's a fee associated with
It is.
too many withdrawals.
Yep.
Out of a savings account. So I started seeing those things. My wife got me involved with Jobs Partnership. They have a financial literacy class I started to run. There's been many churches and pastors that have asked me to come and speak on financial literacy, home ownership, those sorts of things to their congregations. And it's something that comes easy to me, like making complicated things simple.
That's your niche. That's your thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what you're good at a lot of things. That's one of your niches, one of your things.
Yeah.
So, you talk about your wife. Let's touch on this love story. Okay, so we're gonna rewind. Play, boom, and so.
Can I holler out to people in the comments?
Yeah.
Hey, so Vince, I was 6 months sober, right? She's still here, man. It's 16 years on Saturday, Vince.
I love it. And she is.
Yeah.
And she is. I remember when I met you, you're one of the last people that my husband liked. Because you know what? And so, okay, so I'm going to just say this. So he'll be going 16 years on the 21st. And so when I came to you guys' wedding on Valentine's Day, February 14, 2010, I had just left the hospital. He was unresponsive, all that. So I go to the hospital 2 days later, and just a little bit of him was there, the last little bit that I saw. And I hand him my cell phone, and I do this. I ain't say nothing, I did this. And tear came down, and he smiled and went. He ain't like a lot of people.
Oh, wow.
He did, because he was a good man of God. He didn't play games with people, and he had such a good heart. He was a good man. But he loved him some you. I was like, oh, like he really knew. He knew, and that was like the last thing he saw before. Yeah, that was the last moment that I had with him. He saw your picture and smiled, little Tim went, Yep, because he loved him some Nikki and some of that Elva and some of Dee Dee too. Yep. But I remember it was your mother-in-law's birthday celebration.
Yes.
It was the 70th, right, Nick?
Yeah.
It was the 70th. We had jeans and white shirts. Mm-hmm. And I was like, who's that little, who is he? Nick, with that big old smile, oh my goodness. All googly eyed. And so I knew then you were going to stay because you didn't run scared.
Oh, very true.
Because our family, we are a lot, but it's a good a lot. But if you're not used to that kind of a lot, you can't handle the a lot that we are, because we're just who we are. And fabulous in all of our lives.
You can handle it.
But if you want to.
You can handle it if you're rigorously honest.
If you're rigorously, you're right.
My no's mean no, and my yeses mean yes.
You're right. You're right. Because we something, but we're good something else. And I like how you just came in and became a part of us, but she became so much of a part of you and Adrian's life too.
Oh yeah.
Because you guys have a beautiful story. So let's talk about Miss Thang. So from what I understand, you and Miss Thang was together like when y'all was a little younger.
Yeah, we
Miss
dated when we were in high school.
Okay.
Yeah, we dated when we were in high school. But I left Nikki alone. Well, I never called her Nikki. I always called her Nicole. But I left her alone in high school because I wasn't a boyfriend type.
And you knew it then.
And I knew it then. And I didn't.
So
Nicole touched me in a way that I wasn't gonna be the guy that she was talking about in a negative way. And that's how she. That's just what I got from her.
But that y'all need to write a book. That was so good because this is how I processed in my head. I knew the value of what I saw, and I couldn't afford it then. But I remembered the value. Mm-hmm. So
when we got back
reconnected,
together,
yeah. So how did that happen? Were you out and about, or was you?
Well, I've been telling the fib for about 12 years that when Facebook came out, I set up, and since we had these mutual friends, she was like a suggestion. You know how the friends get suggestions?
Yeah.
And that she was a suggestion. So then that's when I messaged her. But the truth is that I searched her full legal name. In the search
my man, that's what we're gonna do. Anything less is uncivilized for you, yes.
More than one occasion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
did she come up the first time, or was it a couple tries? Okay.
No, it was a couple of tries because she wasn't she didn't have an account. Now that I've learned. So yeah, that's the truth. And we were engaged 6 months later and married 9 months later.
Yep. And still 16 years strong.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful love story. And I love good love. And I love how you two love each other good. That's good love. She's a pretty cool chick.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't have anything less.
Nah, she cute too. Yeah. That's my little sister cousin. So let's talk about this. How you feel? Your baby married.
Yeah, she is. And I like the guy so far.
I'm saying, because, right. So how did that make you feel? Like, what because like, this is your baby. You had us, you braided her hair, you got her clothes, and you supported everything she did and all the plethora of activities she was in. And now she grown for real because she went to the military. So we thank you for your service, A. We appreciate that, and we thank God for always protecting you, and he always will. But marriage takes it to a whole nother level.
Not really.
Why you say not really?
Because I'm going to keep doing that. Everything that you just mentioned.
Man.
I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep supporting her. I believe in her.
I think so many parents need to hear that, because I was having a discussion with someone, and it hurts my heart when I hear, first of all, grandparents say, I ain't had them kids. I ain't babysitting them kids. You can't call me I love it. My youngest grandchild is 19, but I'm Grandma T. Call me Grandma. I love all of that, I don't like when parents sort of kind of like throw their children away because they turned 18. Like,
I dreamed of I dreamed about the days when she was 12, the days when she was 16, the days she was 18, the days she's 21. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what it is. I mean, maybe I should have got married when I was 21.
Look at that.
Maybe I should have been the boyfriend type and keeping the main thing, and married my wife right out of high school.
Yeah.
Who knows? So, I want her to live her life to the fullest, and I'm going to help her do that. And I've always been that way with her and protected her in that way so that she can flourish and do what Adrian wants to do.
Mm-hmm. Man, I'm so glad you said that, because parents, LL Cool J said parents just, no, who was it? Said parents sometimes don't understand. Parents just don't understand.
Fresh Prince.
Fresh Prince, that's it. They don't. And it breaks my heart, because working with children in the school system, some of the things they confided in me and some of the things they talk to me about. How do you have a young lady and you don't prepare her for her menstrual? You don't prepare her for her heartbreak. You don't prepare her for her first birth. How do you not prepare her for the life things that just as a female, what she's going to have to deal with? So how did you prepare A?
I taught her everything I knew. And I give her about 3 or 4 of my R-rated stories. So that every couple of years, she just got a new batch at the age of 21.
Because it's necessary.
Because it's necessary.
It's necessary.
As it's necessary. I don't sugarcoat anything. I approach it the same way I approach business and mortgages. I don't sugarcoat anything with her. I tell her what it is.
And I think for a young lady, I know when my father and I would have talks and he would just be real and raw and very candid with me on some things. It helps because you're getting that the unfiltered male perspective, but you're getting it from somebody that you know loves you, that you know has your back.
Right.
That you know covers you, So it's not just somebody saying it just to scare you away from that. No, they're just generally telling you the truth because they need to keep you away from that.
Yeah, and our relationship is a little different than most. I mean, Adrienne she sat in on pretty much until she was 16, every single financial literacy class that I've done. She also went to at least 3 AA meetings with me a week for years. So
your life was a part of her life. You didn't hide it.
No, not at all.
That is awesome.
Not at all.
So what do you think? I've told some parents you need to tell, because their children are struggling in areas that they struggled in, but you don't want your child to know that you struggled in that area. And so I believe that full transparency can help a child. If I tell you, well, honey, I used to do this and I used to do that. So how candid do you think we should be, or is there ever anything we should not talk about?
If it's going to benefit the child or to help them learn the lesson through being wise instead of, having to deal with the consequence, I think that it should be shared. Kids are different though.
Yeah.
I made sure that like those stories, like I said, she just got a new batch at 21. I made sure that those stories are age appropriate for where she could not only, so she could understand it. Also, I think you should be candid enough where it is natural for you to just tell your kid, hey, I'm sorry, you know what? Pop's messed up. I should have did this. And that was wrong what I did here. I apologize.
Yeah. I did that one time and somebody called me crying and said my mother would have never apologized. Well, you don't want them to carry that weight. When you know you're wrong and they know that they're right, you don't let them carry that weight.
Correct.
You don't let them carry that weight. And so forgive me. We apologize to everybody else. You can't apologize to your kids. Hey, T, Auntie loves you, girl. And so because you're into financial literacy, because I'm going to sit down and talk with you real soon. I got something about to happen and I need some help. What are some of the basics that you can throw out for people that won't be so overwhelming? Just some of the real simple things that people can be mindful of.
Yeah. First of all, I'm a relationship builder, and you want someone that you have a relationship with, as far as a banker, an accountant, a lawyer, things of that sort, where you're comfortable being open and transparent with them about what you're talking about. Just like when you go to the doctor, you as truthful as you should be, as truthful as you can be with the doctor, right? If you got a defense attorney, you should be as truthful as you possibly can with your defense attorney because they're your advocate. So in a lot of ways in the financial industry, your banker is your advocate. Your loan officer is your advocate. And you become the advocate of more people if you know how and you value the relationships that you build.
That's good.
With that being said, that first is establishing that relationship. What I do right now, I am a mortgage loan officer. So I primarily help people either purchase a home or I help investors move their business plan forward. So that may be a mortgage on a current property. It may be a refinance. It may be a blanket or a bridge loan. On the personal side, it may be some things that have to be unique. Products that commercial banks don't offer, which is like, statement loans, for those that are 1099, like truck drivers, for instance. They get the cash first, they get a 1099, they write off the money at the end of the year, so they pay the least taxes, so they don't show a whole lot of income, right? But there's a fix for that. So I would say also, you don't know what you don't know. So unless a loan officer that is experienced has told you no, they should have also given you a roadmap to get where you want to get.
So you can get that yes.
So you can get that yes. And no really doesn't mean no. It means not yet.
Not yet. Ooh.
The other thing that I would suggest, or I want people to know, is that the easiest way or the most tried and true way to build wealth is through real estate. And that our generation, we messed it up because we didn't purchase properties the way that our ancestors and those before us did to establish and continue that wealth. Matter of fact, a lot of us lost those family houses.
Yeah.
A lot of us sold them for nothing.
Yeah.
A lot of them, the state took them because we didn't transfer them correctly and pay the taxes. All of those sorts of things is the reason why I do this, and why I put on classes. You see me around the city at networking events, and I work with a book of business that is built on referral basis and word of mouth.
So can you put your contact information in our chat?
Oh, sure.
So once it's over, so like, you can go back and look at it, go to KAZ and put it in the chat so that people could know how to get in contact with you. Because like you said, a lot of churches are now, educating their congregation on financial literacy, especially in the African-American community. Because I've been looking at, I'm getting ready to do some things and get some things fixed in my house, but I want to start purchasing some lots and different things just to have some property, because you build, and so you're going to have to pay me to build on my stuff, and I'm definitely going to get with you. And I think it's valuable to us to know how to hold on to our stuff instead of talking about who took my stuff. No, you just didn't know how to hold on to your stuff. And I think once knowledge is power.
Yeah, and being proactive.
Yeah. Do you know how to put homes?
You got a 90-year-old grandmother that owns a house that is free and clear. All you got to do is keep paying the taxes. Is it in a trust?
I was just getting ready to ask you that.
Does she have a will? Will it go to probate? How will it be transferred? Is it one sibling or is it 5? Have you siblings talked about what you wanted to do with the house prior to mom being deceased?
Or you wait until after she died.
Or you're going to wait until
trying to
after
figure it
she
all out.
dies, and then you got to figure it out.
And then it goes to probate because it wasn't in trust.
Without her help.
Yeah. That's the question I was getting ready to ask you. That you good. So yeah, because I've seen it happen. And they call, can you pray for me? Because me and these 2 siblings want to do this, but this one sibling doesn't want to do that. Or this one sibling wants to do it, I want to do it. This is the business way to do it. This is how we can do it. But they don't want to do that. Or they don't want me to sell mama's house, but you're not going to help give me money to keep the maintenance done on it, the upkeep on it, the bills, and I don't want the responsibility.
Right.
And so definitely they need to get your information so they can get in contact with you.
Yeah, so it's up to the younger generation to catch up and to help us catch up. And there's a lot of exciting things. And I have a lot of exciting investors that are great landlords. They manage multiple properties, 20 and 30 units that they have on their own. They take good care of the properties, what have you. They're local and they take this just as seriously as I do.
And I bet you people talk themselves out of investing because they don't realize that they have the capability to do it. Because sometimes the noise in their ears like, oh, you can't afford it. People are so quick to tell somebody what they can't afford to do. And then we allow them to kill the dream.
Yeah, like once again, people don't know what they don't know. Most of my real estate investor loan products, I'd never ask that person what their personal income is.
Wow.
Never.
Wow. Why?
Because the capacity to pay is determined by the amount of rent that the property is generating each month.
Because if you keep your property up, you're going to have some tenants.
Yeah, and that's the underwriting rule. It's called a debt service coverage ratio loan. So as long as you're taking in 1.25 more than the mortgage, taxes, and insurance, we got a done deal so far. We just got to look at your character, your credit history, and then we got to look at, do you have reserves? If you don't get a tenant right away, can you still maintain the mortgage and pay all everything for the next 12 months? But
So at least 1 year of reserves, at least.
Yeah, we put it in the LLC, and it doesn't show up on your personal credit. Never affects your debt to income ratio.
Listen, y'all, he's going to put his information in there. Ladies, you need this. You know, so many of you depend on a man to do everything for you. And I'm not saying he can't, but so many of us need that. When my husband passed, my name was on the house too. So that was a good thing. That was a good thing. But had it not been, me and Nate would have been SOL, you know? And I mean, well, you were there. Y'all wouldn't have let me be SOL. Let me take that. I would not have been. They would not have allowed me. That's our family shows up and shows out. But somebody else would have been SOL. And I know a lot of people that are SOL, like wives, once they become widowed, they're lost and they're stuck. Men sometimes will put it in the wife's name because they got a history of medical issues, thinking they're going to pass before the wife. The wife passed, and now they're lost and don't know what to do. So definitely you're going to share it. I'm having some events coming up, and I'm definitely going to see what your book looks like so that you can come and educate some people about some things. I was even thinking about like just doing a little sip and pay and then slide financial literacy in on them. You know, because sometimes people look at what they don't have and they won't go to something like what you have to offer.
Yeah.
Because they don't have this amount in the bank account now, but you need to know how to work towards that.
Correct.
You know, and so we need to take steps towards that.
Yep.
And you're not too old.
You got to start somewhere.
Yeah, I'm starting at 61.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere. And something from my grandmother was to learn something new every day. And I think we've kind of gotten away from that. Like, you know, learn something new every day. And you can learn something from anybody. You can learn something from a 2-year-old baby.
Yep, that's true.
That can't speak the King's English yet.
That's true.
So just learn something every day.
Learn something every day.
Yeah, try to be 1% better every day.
So when you gonna write this book, or did you write it yet?
No, I haven't written it yet. I'm still mulling it over.
I got about 5 that I'm mulling over, but I'm gonna start right. I'm gonna get something published before June. I'm gonna get one of them published before June. So I'm gonna throw some words out, and you shoot back the first word that comes to your mind.
Okay.
Cold.
Hot.
Easter.
Jesus.
America. I didn't even know that was coming out of my mouth. That's an answer.
I don't have one word. I don't have one word.
Okay, we'll put all the one words together.
I don't have one word.
Jeep.
Car.
Ribs.
Beef.
Sad.
Death.
August.
My birthday.
I didn't even know that. I just threw it out there. It was like, it just was coming to basketball.
Jordan.
Football.
Miles Garrett.
Adrian.
Love.
Nicole.
Love.
Deirdre.
Love.
Tanya Lynne.
Love.
We feel the same way about you. Music.
Reggae.
Your mother.
Sweet.
Your father.
Son.
Art.
My dad.
Because when I said father, I saw the paintings. The paintings. So do you have siblings?
I do have a sibling. I have a sibling that lives in Houston, Texas, that I found out, how long ago was it, babe? 5 years ago? And I found out that I had a brother.
In Houston?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm gonna
He's
be in
like
Houston soon.
he's 15 years younger than me.
Stop.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that?
I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm glad to have a brother. I've always wanted a brother.
Does he have any other siblings?
Yes.
Okay.
He has 2 other brothers that he grew up with.
Okay.
And I remember those brothers. And one of those brothers is the one that found me and hit me up on Facebook to let me know that I had a brother,
Which was his brother.
which was his brother.
But you already knew him.
But I knew him.
But didn't know your
'Cause
brother.
I remember him.
Wow.
I remember him and their older brothers. Yeah.
Wow. That is awesome. I love that for you.
Yeah.
Another chapter.
Yeah, it's all good. You know, rigorous honesty, deal with it as it comes. Being your true, authentic self.
Absolutely.
And being truthful and seeing it through. I got a brother now. I count it all glory.
Come on, a bonus. Something you didn't even, an unexpected blessing. And it was right on time.
Yep.
Right on time. So what do you want to do next? If you could leave here and God said tomorrow you can do whatever you want to do, what would your answer be?
This goes back to that America question. I would be leaving the country.
Oh, me too.
And I would be buying a villa, a couple of chickens, a fishing boat, and a cool little dog named Jeffrey, JJ the Wonder Dog. He's an Irish Terrier. He wears bow ties and a fedora.
Why do I have a picture of it?
And yeah, that's what I would do. And that is the goal and the plan.
So when I was in the Cayman Islands in January, we were looking at property and things and looking at areas and seriously considering getting someplace abroad. It doesn't cost as much as people think.
No.
It really is easier there to get something there than it's less expensive.
Correct.
So yeah, that I would do the exact same thing. I would take Quincy, my dog. You know, I wouldn't have JJ, but I'd take Quincy, the little toy fox terrier. That's a terror sometimes.
Yeah.
And so yeah. So we're counting down. Excuse me. Larry, can you post that photo of the flyer of Asia? Let me get something to drink. Dee, I want to thank you for sitting at the table with Auntie. I totally enjoyed this conversation with you. I thank you for being transparent because a lot of people view, and you never know who's going through something or you never know who they're connected to. And that gives them a better understanding and a better perspective on how to give that person grace.
True.
You know, people say they just need, no, it's not, it's a disease.
True.
And you need the right medicine to heal. So today you gave good medicine. So thank you very much. I appreciate you. Now everybody, this is my niece, Asia. I need you to pray for Asia. I need you to share Asia's story. I need you to touch those QR codes. And I need you to support Asia. Mother, wife, daughter, niece, cousin, sister. I need you to not forget to call her name. And when God does the miracle, we will share that too, because I know he will. How do I know? Because there's nothing impossible for God to do, because impossible becomes I'm possible. Thank you for tuning in to Conversations with Auntie. Thank you for riding this road with me for 3 years, now going into my 4th year. I love you. Be well, be blessed, but most of all,